Hi folks, I'm Mindy Dreyer alongside Kathy Gilliland and Joe Schmitz. Now this is a different type of interview than what you've been seeing us do because, Joe, this is your life. No, I'm just kidding. There's a specific reason why you wanted Kathy involved in this.
Absolutely. I mean, she means the world to me, and if it's not for her, I'm not doing what I'm doing here today. And so we were just talking about it. It was nearly 10 years ago when I first met her, and it's what got me into the industry. And you know, everyone has that mentor who has been there to guide them and direct them and to set them up for success, and here she is.
Kathy, let's talk about you a little bit. Give us a little bit of your background.
40 years as a financial planner. I'm retired now. And I met Joe about 10 years ago. And a friend of mine asked if I needed an intern for my practice. I said I did. I've already committed to one, but I can probably use two. So the first thing I did was want to meet him, of course. I went to the college where he was playing basketball. I know nothing about basketball, but I wanted to see how he interacted with the team. And I could see right away he was the leader of the team. Everybody followed him, and I thought, that's pretty cool. This might work out. So I offered him an internship, and he came for the summer, and it was awesome.
Do you want to tell them how great that internship was for me as far as all the work I had to do?
Yeah, I was going to ask, what was all involved with the internship? Because internships can mean so many different things. Yeah. Do nothing, do something, do everything.
Well, this was quite unique. It's a miracle that he wanted to continue in the business after what I had him do. I had a room about 10 by 12 full of file cabinets of paper. 30 years at that time of paper files. His job was to scan it all. Can you imagine anything any more boring than scanning? There had to be 15, 16 four-drawer file cabinets, and he scanned. But what was interesting, he came early, he stayed late, he asked to sit in on some of my meetings, listen on my phone calls, and I was so impressed with his eagerness in spite of the horrible job I gave him. We had the other intern who never showed up. I think he was there maybe 4 hours one week, and he didn't make it in the business. He ended up doing something else. But Joe, of course, has been a great success. So.
Well, Joe's a competitor.
He is.
And I think we've all seen that with Joe at one point or another in our own personal situations with him. But first of all, you had to scan. What'd you think when you had to
let's
do
take
that?
a step back, right?
Yeah.
It's
Back
all
it up.
about getting your foot in the door and having that opportunity, right? And so I was like, I'll do whatever if I can watch her do what she does every day. I mean, when I'm at that age in college, it's like I will do whatever to be able to see what is this like. And that was the only opportunity I had at the time. And so being able to see that and just seeing how a successful person interacts with people and how they go about their every day, you learn so much from that. And we all know that, you know, you can't be successful without the help. No one is just successful on their own. You have to have a role model. You have to have someone hold you accountable. You have to have someone coach you up, and you know that's how that leads to success.
So what was it about Kathy that you really bought into? And she is your mentor now. I mean, that's a big word.
Yeah,
mentorship.
There's a bigger word than that for this relationship. We're best friends.
Aww.
I mean, we get together every week. We're talking about everything.
And you started out as an intern.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's a relationship, right? And what do you learn from someone? What do I learn from her? How do you have relationships with people? How do you have meaningful, trusting relationships with people that go 3-4 generations deep? And that's what I've learned. And so, mentor, yes, but best friend can be a mentor too, right? And so I'd say that's more of our relationship it's been more of, she's been by myself to help me grow, but it's been even more than that. You know, whenever I've needed someone, she's always going to be there.
Kathy, at what point in this internship or friendship, but at what point did you look at Joe and think to yourself, this guy's got it? Like, he's going to go places in this business.
Let's first start with her first thoughts of me were.
Oh. On the basketball court or outside the basketball court?
Before the basketball court.
The basketball court, I saw that he was a leader, but when he was in the office, I thought now you're gonna laugh, I thought he was a little shy.
Joe?
Shy.
Shy?
Shy.
I don't see that at all.
I know, he sure got over it, huh?
Yeah.
I would say I was intimidated.
But were you really shy, do you think?
I think I was at that time, and I tell this story all the time that, you know, one of the most helpful things for myself and my professional career and development was Toastmasters. And Toastmasters is being able to speak in front of a crowd and get critiqued and have that experience. First time I did a speech in Toastmasters, I was shaking, I was sweating, I was reading from my notes. And nowadays it's like, oh wait, what? I'm on TV, I'm in any interview, it's just normal, it's natural. But at that time, I mean, yeah, it's when you're first starting in your professional career, I mean, it's not something I was ever used to. I had a professor in college always say that, when I was graduating college, like, hey, you need to make sure you're aware that you're going to be very young entering in this industry. And you need to make sure that you look professional, and you also kind of talk like an athlete, and you kind of talk like you're from the country. So let's maybe clean that up a little bit so you can be more professional. But it's very realistic. And so, being around Kathy, you don't have to worry about having an example of shyness, right? She's going to be very open and very encouraging to help me and grow in that aspect.
Yeah, but you broke the shy mold. And I think really more than anything, Joe, I think it's your work ethic. And I think when anyone out there is looking for some help with their finances, for an advisor, for just advice, you want someone who is in it to win it. And that's probably what you really started to notice is Joe's going to do whatever it takes to be the best of the best.
Absolutely. It could have run him off so easy as it did the other intern. I think he's doing not this business now. It ran him off, what little of it he did. But Joe was there like early, stayed late. I never saw such enthusiasm for really a crummy job.
So I know it doesn't take you by surprise to see how successful Joe is, but at this stage in his life, it's almost immediate success. It has to be a little rare that someone at this age can be so successful.
It is so rare. It is so rare. So he gives me way more credit than I deserve. All right. This is truly a case of the student exceeding the teacher by bunches and bunches. He has done more than I did in a 40-year career. He has more credentials than I had in a 40-year career. I've written 0 books and have not been published by Kiplinger and don't really expect to be. So it's amazing at his age to have accomplished what he's accomplished. I'm so proud, and I'm just so proud of him. I'm so happy for him, and he deserves it. Hard worker.
Your response to that?
It's speechless, right? I mean, and like what a lot of people, don't really know or understand is that peak retirement doesn't exist for a few reasons, right? One, it doesn't exist if I don't meet Kathy and she gets me introduced into the industry. We don't have the ability to impact hundreds and thousands of people if it's not for that introduction. But also, it's like, it takes a lot to start a financial planning business. Mm-hmm. You don't just see people start a financial planning business at a young age that I did. And so you think I had all the answers as I started? Of course not, but I had resources to go to like Kathy to really help pour into me and help me set this up for success. And so it's just so invaluable. I mean, I truly think that everyone who is ever impacted by peak retirement has been impacted by Kathy because of all she's poured into not only myself, but just the development of the firm to get us to where we are. And to go off of 39 years of experience, I think she knows a little bit about what she's doing.
Well, reputation matters.
Yes.
It absolutely does. Kathy, what do you think is the most challenging or hardest part of this business that you both have embraced?
Well, I would say for Joe, his age was a huge disadvantage. Now, I'm on the other end of it. The last probably 10 years of my practice, I was too old. Okay, people come in and look at somebody my age and say, I don't think I'm going to start with you. You look like you're on the back nine.
Because you want someone who's going to be with you for the long haul.
Absolutely. Well, Joe had the problem on the other end because of his age. He was on the, how's he going to get somebody my age to listen to him?
And trust him.
And trust him because of his age. It's very difficult for 50, 60, 70-year-olds to look at somebody his age and think, I'm going to hitch my wagon to his star. But his hard work, his personality, his perseverance, his ability to meet people, it just smoothed it all over. You just love him as soon as you meet him.
The one thing we didn't hit on, because all of those are wonderful and you need it, but you need someone with intelligence and knowledge. How do you gain that?
Yeah, I mean, it's through a lot of years of experience. I mean, 10 years of experience at this point. I mean, you learn a lot and you see a lot. And, as Kathy's saying, when I first started in the industry, I was meeting with clients. Most people just step in the, industry and they're just an assistant to an advisor. I was taking on clients when I was at the ripe age of 21 and 22. And so you learn a lot through those experiences, but just being a lifelong learner, right? There's always something to learn. All these credentials Kathy mentioned, that all, helps you learn, more of what it is. And so, it's, Kathy's always, told that to me, that there's always something to know and it's ever changing. And so you got to stay on top of it.
And he works so hard. Most people, they're 9 to 5. Well, they're 10 after 9 to 5 till 5. He just never put any kind of time schedule on it. He just worked. If he left the office, he was home and reading. This business takes a lot of extra. We probably spend an hour a day as an advisor learning, okay, this is going to change. How's this going to impact my clients? Well, they're going to undo that. Now I got to go back and, it's continual. Continual. And he was willing to put in that work. It was just admirable.
I've been on business trips with him, and I see firsthand, like we get a little bit of a break. I'm going through maybe Facebook, Twitter, catching up on text. Not Joe. He's like, checking this, checking that. It's non-stop, like you said with you, Joe. You're just so driven.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
It's just the ability to make an impact on so many people is what really drives me. And it's like, if I just sit back, nothing's going to happen. And so I've been taught from a very early age, even before the interaction with Kathy, to when I was raised as a child, right? My parents taught me the importance of getting things done, right? Being a hard worker, of helping people out, I say it all the time, but looking someone in the eye, shaking their hand, and getting the job done. And a lot of people count on us with their life savings, something they've worked hard for so many years. They deserve it. And if someone's not going to do that, are they truly going to be in the best experience with us? Shouldn't maybe they work with someone else if we're not going to have that level of excellence? So just important to us.
No one knows more than you two how hard it can be and how challenging it can be for someone who has worked so hard, saved so much money, to hand it over to you. I would think the number one word that comes to mind is you have to trust people that you're going to work with when it comes to your money, really when it comes to anything that matters in your life. Kathy, do you trust Joe?
Oh my, I sure do. I have made, against my attorney's better judgment or concern, Joe is the trustee of my trust and my power of attorney. You cannot give anybody any more power than that. And I'm very comfortable knowing that he will take care of whatever needs to be done should I pass away, which I'm not looking to do right away, but you never know. But the trust, I have so much trust for him with my life, really, and all my money.
And I think that's the basis of peak retirement, really. It's not just Joe, but you have embraced this entire team that they have to pretty much live under that aspect.
Absolutely. And I'll tell a funny story with Kathy. Obviously me starting in industry, didn't have much, right? And she'd always take care of me and buy me lunch and take me out to nice dinners and provide all the resources I needed. And I said, Kathy, that's no longer the case. Anytime we go out to lunch now, she can never even touch the bill. And she sits there and thinks, well, this is nice, this is all great. And I say, well, I think our relationship is worth more than $30. So I'm all for paying for every single meal for the here on out, because of the impact she's had on me will forever outweigh any financial benefit or gain that I could ever give to her. And so I think that just speaks volumes of how much impact she's had on me personally.
Well, I think this interview has been eye-opening, and I think rewarding for anyone watching, because you do want to be able to trust someone. You want to know that they're going to do the best they possibly can and work the hardest that they can for you. And that's what, Joe, you have learned from Kathy, and I think it's been great. So thanks both for your time.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to say? Look into the camera. Why, Joe?
He's the best I've ever seen at any age, but certainly at this age. And he has so many years to go. He'll be with you a long time. He saw it in my practice where we had 4 generations of people. And I think that got his attention for sure, and had so much fun over those many years. I'm looking forward to, in retirement, doing some workshops with you.
Yes.
It'll just be more fun for us.
Kathy, thanks. Joe?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anything else in closing?
I don't know if we could keep talking because I think Kathy and I are both holding back tears right now because this is how much this means to us. But thanks for hosting us, Mindy, and thanks to all the viewers for watching. And we just hope that this can, share more about who we are personally and why this is important to us.
Absolutely. My pleasure. And yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in and watching.